So Alba, you've talked about how you're now in working for Deloitte and in a consulting role, to which you're really, really enjoying. And I'd love to hear a little bit more about that. But I know that a lot of our prospective students and even our first year students sometimes seem to have a very narrow perspective of what accounting is and what a CPA designation can provide to you. But can you talk a little bit about how you transitioned from your CPA designation to the consulting role that you have now?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So I am still pursuing my CPA designation, but similar to the sentiment that you expressed, I wasn't aware that consulting was a career option until my fourth year, where the University of Waterloo hosted an info session, and I had two representatives from my current group come and do this virtual session and talk about what the role entailed and what the day-to-day life was. And I thought that was super cool, and it was something up my alley just based on how they described it and how passionate they seemed. So from there, my mind was kind of open to, oh, it's not just audit or tax or industry. There could be value creation because there are professionals that are needed to bridge the gap between what can technology do and how do you run your finance function. So playing in that space was a no-brainer to me. So I set up coffee chats with one of the representatives when I applied to the role, and thankfully successfully made it through the interview process to obtain my role and then start post-grad in the consulting space.
Yeah, that's fantastic to hear. And I know that consulting is part of the accounting field that does require just as much of the transferable skills as in problem solving, strategic planning.
Yep.
But also, like you said, I love how you describe bridging that gap of the financial data to what it could potentially mean and creating value for an organization. So I also know that with your co-op experiences, when you first started co-op and started as an undergrad, I remember chatting with you and you said that you wanted to explore and wanted to see and find out and maximize your co-op work experiences to test out a whole bunch of different types of roles. Now, your co-op work experiences have mostly been with M&P, but were you able to kind of jump around and explore the different areas and sectors of accounting within those co-op roles?
So at M&P, I didn't do as much jumping around as I initially planned, but between my first co-op term and my second, third, and fourth co-op terms, I did my second, third, and fourth co-op terms in public companies audit, and my first in more so small business groups / corporate / personal tax. So it was a transition, and when I moved into the public companies role, I did enjoy the team that I was working with, and to me, like, enjoying the team, having a lot of opportunities to learn, getting that mentorship really made me stick around. So I enjoyed my time at M&P in the public companies audit role. And then, like you said, like, I knew I wanted to explore a little bit more, so post-grad, I made the decision to switch over to consulting.
Mm-hmm. But I do know that in your senior co-op roles with M&P, because you had stayed with the same employer, you were given more of a leadership role to help mentor and to train the co-op students, right?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's one of the reasons that I wanted to stick around, because I could see the opportunities for personal development in that my managers trusted me more. They knew the quality of the work that I did. They knew how effective of a communicator I was, so I was entrusted with more work. And at one point they had one of the clients, like, I was their contact person, so if they couldn't get a hold of my manager, or they knew, like, they just had a quick question, they would be calling me up and saying, "Hey Alba, can you explain this part of the audit process to me?" And I was super comfortable because I had all the mentorship up to that date on how to navigate that conversations. I was fully immersed in the day-to-day work. I was at the table for important conversations. So it was a really great opportunity for me to learn and grow as a professional.
Yeah, that's fantastic to hear, because ultimately, like, yes, co-op, you're meant to utilize your co-op work terms to explore. However, there are advantages to sticking with the same employer as well, because there are additional opportunities or opportunities for growth within the, while maintaining or staying with the same employer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.